The Trump administration has recently made a decision that is expected to benefit hundreds of thousands of Social Security recipients across the country. This move is particularly impactful for older Americans who are living on fixed incomes and have defaulted on their student loans. Originally, there were plans in place for the government to begin garnishing Social Security benefits by as much as 15% per month to recoup unpaid federal student loans. However, the administration has now reversed course, deciding not to pursue these garnishments, at least for the time being. This change in policy marks a significant and sudden shift, offering relief and temporary protection to many vulnerable citizens. For context, the federal government holds immense power when it comes to collecting on defaulted student loans. These powers include garnishing tax refunds, seizing portions of paychecks, and reducing Social Security retirement and disability benefits. For many years, due to pandemic-era policies, the federal government had paused these aggressive collection tactics. The administration's previous announcement to resume such measures had raised alarms, especially for older adults who depend heavily on their Social Security payments. Over 450,000 borrowers aged 62 and older are in default and receive Social Security. For them, a reduction in benefits could have devastating consequences, potentially leading to food insecurity, missed medical appointments, and the inability to afford basic living expenses. As reported by CNBC, this reversal in policy signals a recognition by the Trump administration of the financial fragility of many Social Security recipients. The administration acknowledged that cutting benefits from elderly individuals struggling to survive would not only harm them personally, but could also have broader negative effects on local communities and the national economy. Advocates like Carolina Rodriguez from the Education Debt Consumer Assistance Program expressed concerns about resumed collections on retirees, emphasizing how dangerous it could be for their well-being. Initially, the administration had proposed garnishing 100% of Social Security payments from defaulted borrowers. That plan was soon scaled back to a 15% garnishment. And now, the plan has been abandoned, at least temporarily. While this decision doesn't forgive the loans or erase the federal debt, it does allow for more time and breathing room for older Americans to get back on track financially. It also aligns with promises made by the administration not to cut Social Security, a point that has been emphasized repeatedly. Despite this positive development, the federal government still intends to collect on its outstanding student loan debt. While Social Security beneficiaries age 62 and older are safer now, others are not as fortunate. Individuals in their 50s or early 60s who are not yet eligible for Social Security may still face aggressive collection efforts. The government can and will continue to intercept tax refunds and garnish wages in order to recover these debts. It's clear that student loan repayments remain a high priority for the government, especially as it seeks to manage the ballooning national debt. Currently, discussions in Congress are ongoing about raising the debt ceiling by $5 trillion, and this proposal has become a flashpoint in Washington. Lawmakers such as Senator Rand Paul have pushed back strongly, arguing that any debt ceiling increase must come with concrete measures to address federal debt. In this context, student loan debt becomes a crucial target. As part of broader fiscal strategies, the government is considering all means available to recoup what is owed. This includes student loans, which make up a significant portion of the country's debt portfolio. At the same time, there is some hope for Social Security recipients when it comes to future legislation. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson recently confirmed that Republicans have drafted 3 reconciliation bills aimed at reforming tax laws and Social Security policies. One of these could include the elimination of federal taxes on Social Security benefits. If enacted, this would provide meaningful financial relief to millions of Americans who rely on these payments to get by each month. There is also talk about changing how the cost of living adjustment (COLA) is calculated, switching from the current index to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly CPI-E. This change could lead to larger annual increases in benefits, better reflecting the real cost of living for older citizens. Additionally, lawmakers are exploring the possibility of raising the Social Security tax cap. Currently, there is a maximum income threshold beyond which earnings are not subject to Social Security taxes. Increasing this cap would mean higher income earners contribute more to the system, potentially strengthening its long-term financial outlook. These ideas remain under discussion, but they illustrate that both protection and expansion of Social Security benefits are on the legislative agenda. What remains clear is that while this pause in garnishments is a welcome relief, it is not a permanent solution. The federal government still wants its money back. At some point, those who have defaulted on student loans, regardless of age, may be asked to repay. For now, however, those aged 62 and older who rely on Social Security benefits can breathe a little easier knowing that their monthly checks will remain untouched. This decision is being viewed by many as a humane and logical response to an increasingly complex and morally charged issue. It also reflects the administration's desire to uphold its public commitments to protect Social Security. While political motivations are certainly at play, the real-world impact is what matters most to millions of Americans trying to make ends meet. Social Security has long been considered the backbone of retirement income in the United States. For many, it's the difference between stability and poverty. Any reduction in these benefits, even a small one, can be catastrophic for those living on the margins. This is why the administration's decision to pull back from benefit garnishments is so significant. It's not just a change in policy. It's a lifeline for some of the nation's most financially vulnerable citizens. As for the future, nothing is set in stone. Legislative changes, new budget proposals, and shifting economic conditions could all influence whether garnishments are reintroduced later. Beneficiaries and advocates alike will need to remain vigilant and informed. In the meantime, the current pause offers a chance to regroup, reevaluate, and hopefully establish better long-term solutions for managing student loan debt without compromising the well-being of America's retirees. This entire situation is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between fiscal responsibility and social responsibility. On one hand, the federal government is tasked with recovering debt and managing the budget. On the other hand, it must also safeguard the welfare of its citizens, especially those who are no longer working and have limited means to earn income. Navigating this balance requires thoughtful policy, compassion, and a willingness to adjust course when necessary. The Trump administration's reversal on Social Security garnishments underscores the importance of listening to public concerns and adapting policy accordingly.